Hi, I'm Mark Wein, and welcome to my lesson on solo structures for 12-bar blues. What we're going to be doing in this lesson is deconstructing a chorus of blues, a 12-bar blues solo, and seeing how it relates to a vocal in a typical 12-bar blues. Very early on, I realized that most of my favorite electric blues guitar players were also known for their singing. They were artists who fronted groups. And it started making sense to me that perhaps the reason why their solos sounded so melodic to me was because their guitar playing was being informed by their singing styles. B.B. King is probably my favorite example of this, but the list of guys that I thought were great guitar players that didn't sing were pretty small. I think Hubert Sumlin was the only guy that made that list. The example we're using for this lesson is one of the songs from my album, and the song's called I'm Gonna Leave. The solo is the introduction solo, and the transcription is in the downloads for this. We're going to go through it here in a minute. But first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the vocal part of it. It's a 12-bar blues, and we're going to divide that 12-bar blues up into 3 4-bar phrases. All right, and each of those 4-bar phrases has kind of a question and an answer feeling to the melody. The first line, shame on you, girl, for thinking things gotta be this way. All right, the first half, shame on you, girl, kind of has that question to it, like, did you take the trash out? Right? And then we've got, for thinking things gotta be this way, and that completes it. We create a little tension with the question kind of half, and then we resolve it. The next 4 bars, we start on the 4 chord in the chord progression, and we restate that idea usually. Shame on you, girl, for thinking things gotta be this way. So largely the same idea, but the melody's a little different to fit the chord progression. The last 4 bars, where we start on the 5 chord, this is kind of the summation of it all. This is the punchline. Because I'm gonna leave here if you're gonna stay. We wrap it all up. Now, the solo kind of has the structure to it, and we're going to pull it apart that way. If you want a much simpler way to look at this, look at the solo, the example solo, in the Building Better Blues Lines lesson that I did in this series, the very first lesson. There's a transcription for that, and you can actually pull that apart real easily. All right, so we're going to divide the solo up into 3 phrases, 3 question and answer phrases. The first one, we're starting up here in the higher octave that we're going to be playing. That's the question, and then I'm going to answer it down an octave. The next phrase, we start kind of in the same place, although the question's a little bit more elaborate. And then I answer it. And then the last phrase, a little bit different. I always look at this as more like the punchline. It's not going to have the same melodic content as the other 2. It's going to have a little bit more of a payoff. Question, and then answer.